As most of you know, I recently moved to New Mexico, where the views are great and the mountain biking is even greater. I'm not much on grammar, but I gotta say, these trails around here are epic. From fast, flowy single track right behind my house, to technical, rocky terrain just right up the road. It was time to ditch the cross-country style bike and get one with a little bit more aggressive geometry to handle this type of terrain. With that being said, I must warn you, this video is for the bike nerds out there who totally like to geek out over specs and geometry. But before we get into that, I want you to check out this awesome footage that MBR put together of the bike I just purchased. Welcome to another episode right here on Out Here Pedaling. My name is Cody Gertz, and today we're going to be talking about why I upgraded from my old hardtail to another hardtail, okay? Because most of the time in the bike industry, you see people go from a hardtail to a full suspension bike, okay? And mainly for two reasons why I did this. Number one, I like the simplicity of a hardtail, okay? You just can't beat the simplicity of it. It's just basic, but they are very good all-around bikes if you get the right kind, okay? Now, the second reason why I didn't upgrade to a full suspension, to be honest, is budget. I didn't quite have the budget to upgrade to a bike that I wanted, okay? So instead, I went for an aggressive hardtail with excellent specs for just under $1,000. So really hard to beat, and if you have a budget like this, you know, right around $1,000, you can get a well-spec'd bike if you do your research. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this bike that I just bought. Okay, now with that being said, this was a very close race between three different bikes. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the bike I bought, the Vitus Sentier, okay, Plus. Now they say it's a plus hardtail, but it really has 2.6-inch tires. A plus normally means in the hardtail world tires that are 2.8 inches and above, okay? But I'll take it. Vitus Sentier Plus hardtail bike. Now, this has the Shimano Dior 1x10 drivetrain throughout, okay? 32 tooth chain ring up front and 11 to 42 tooth cassette in the rear, okay? Shimano all the way around, which is awesome. Now, another reason why I got rid of my old bike and upgraded to this one is because it was a large frame. I am not a large. I'm a 5'8", 150 pounds. I really needed to be on a medium. Okay, the only reason why I bought the large is because I thought if I shortened my stem, you know, scooted my seat forward, I could get it to work, and that just wasn't the case. So upgrading to a medium-sized bike, I'm super excited about something that's going to fit me. And also, let's go over the specs of this bike. Okay, like I said, 2.6-inch tires, 27.5-inch tall, and they say that it has clearance for 2.8-inch tires as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, first thing I always do is read the full description of the bike. So if you guys are interested in this bike, make sure you read it clearly, okay? Now, I wanted an aggressive style hardtail. With this Vitus Sentier, the head tube angle is 66 degrees. And it has 140 millimeters of travel in the front, okay? Plus a Rockshox Recon, so it's not a cheap fork. Cheaper end of the Rockshox model, but Rockshox manufacturer makes damn good forks. And if you're in the MTB industry, or, you know, in the space, you know that Rockshox makes damn good forks. And all the other bikes that I was comparing this one to had like Suntour forks. Now, I'm not saying that Suntour doesn't make good forks, but I would rather have a Rockshox over a Suntour any day. And the reason why I went with this bike, mainly because of those three things. It was a medium frame, had 140 millimeters of travel up front, that slack head tube angle, which is going to make it more aggressive, okay, to handle some of the stuff out here. Now, I'm definitely going to switch this to a tubeless ready system. I'm going to switch this to tubeless. It comes with tubes. Obviously, it ships overseas. I'm in the USA. It ships from the UK. So they don't put tubeless sealant inside of the tires just because of the pressure in the airplane, okay? So it comes with tubes in it, but I'm going to convert it to tubeless. All right, now, as you can see here, I'll just leave my screen here so you can read through. You can even pause this video if you want and go through the specs of this bike, or you can just go on chainreactioncycles.com and check this bike out yourself, okay? I don't want to make the video too long going over specs with you, all right? But I want to let you know what my selling point was of this bike. Okay, in comparison to other bikes in this same class, I guess you could say. The other one I was looking at was a Mason 1, Diamondback Mason 1. A little bit more of a chunkier bike, has 2.8-inch tires already, 3-inch tires already added. A 1x10 drivetrain, so pretty comparable there between the two. But something that really just deterred me away from this was 120 millimeters of travel up front. It was a coil spring, plus it was a Suntour XCR. Okay? Like I said, I really don't... I didn't want to go from a Suntour shock on my old bike to a Suntour front fork on this new bike, okay? I wanted to upgrade a little bit in a Rockshox Recon, all right? So this was one of the main reasons why I did not choose the Diamondback Mason, all right? Now, I've heard a lot of good things about the plus size tires, you know, this being a true plus size with 3-inch tires. It says it gives you a whole lot more grip, you roll a little bit faster, and going over roots and rocky sections is a lot better. You can feel those tires take a little bit more of that impact than what like a 2.6-inch standard, you know, 650B tire would. So really, it came down to 3 different things, okay? For me, head tube angle, medium-sized frame, and then the specs on the front fork, whether or not it had an adequate amount of travel for what I wanted. Okay. Now I know I may get some negative comments here. You should have gone full suspension. You should have gone. I put a lot of thought into this. I researched for a solid month. You know, literally every day, looking at different bikes I could spec out, which ones had the better components than, you know, what the Vitus Sentier did. And you know, I came across even the Nuke Proof Scout 275 Sport. Now this was under my $1,000 range. The next one is the race bike, went up to a little over $1,000. With it shipped, it was like $1,100. And this one still comes with an SR Suntour. Now the head angle on this one is a little bit more slacker, 65 degrees. It's 1 degree slacker than the Vitus Sentier that I just bought. So I like the Nuke Proof. It has DHF front and rear, 2.6 front and rear, which are fantastic tires. I mean, you really can't beat the quality of tire that comes on this. But again, that SR Suntour fork up front with 130 millimeters of travel just wasn't what I was looking for. It really wasn't. Now, this is a 1x10, just like the other one. So all 3 of these bikes are pretty comparable in its components. Again, I'm not going to go into super detail of what the specs are on these videos because the video would be 30 minutes long and I don't want to bore you guys, okay? So pause the screen, check it out here, or you can just go to chainreactioncycles.com and spec these bikes out yourself, okay? So like I said, Vitus Sentier plus hardtail bike is what I ended up going with. I'm so excited. It should get here next week. As soon as I get it, you guys will have an unboxing and review video of the Vitus Sentier. Now, I also want to point out that the Vitus Hardtail, even from back in 2014, they won Hardtail of the Year for $1,000 and less. I guess it's £1,000, you know, in euro. But this was in its own category, and it was matched up against like 7 or 8 bikes, I believe. And it says, in what is arguably the best or the biggest test of hardtail trail bikes in the UK, the Vitus Sentier has successfully defended its title in the sub 1,000 pound category to become MBR's Hardtail of the Year 2015. Okay, so 2014 they got Hardtail of the Year, and 2015 they got Hardtail of the Year. So it says something about their build of their bikes. You guys can say what you want about Vitus Sentier. You know, everybody has their opinions, their favorites. You know, I'm non-biased at this point. I chose the Vitus because the components and the specs and the geometry were exactly what I wanted, and it's going to fit my riding style. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. Now also, make sure you subscribe because next week I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review video to give you guys kind of an idea of how the whole shipping process went, the buying process, and what the bike looks like right out of the box. And how well it gets put together, okay? That's something that you're interested in. Make sure you subscribe so you get notifications for the next video. My name's Cody Gertz, right here on OHP. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.